This past week, I made a comment in passing about somebody, and after I had said it, I kind of thought about what I said, and I realized that it wasn't really the nicest thing. I didn't necessarily mean for it to be a mean comment, but the connotation behind it was kind of taking a jab at somebody the more I analyzed it. And the more and more I thought about what I said, I regretted it and I felt bad about it. And then during my devotions, I read this. Dwell upon the good qualities of those with whom you associate, and see as little as possible of their errors and failings. When tempted to complain of what someone has said or done, praise something in that person's life or character. Cultivate thankfulness. Praise God for His wonderful love in giving Christ to die for us. It never pays to think of our grievances. God calls upon us to think of His mercy and His matchless love, that we may be inspired with praise. We cannot afford to live on the husks of others' faults or failings. The very act of looking for evil in others develops evil in those who look. By dwelling upon the faults of others, we are changed into the same image. But by beholding Jesus, talking of His love and perfection of character, we become changed into His image. By contemplating the lofty ideal He has placed before us, we shall be uplifted into a pure and holy atmosphere, even the presence of God. When we abide here, there goes forth from us a light that irradiates all who are connected with us. You know, it's really great advice that anytime we're feeling like we want to say something bad about somebody, or even when we're thinking something bad about someone, we should think about their good qualities and their good traits. It's actually funny because I read this advice in this book, this famous interpersonal relations book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. But this is actually a principle that's taken from the Bible. And it just has such practical significance because the more and more you think good about somebody, the more your actual perception of them is going to be good, and you're going to start to be able to overlook all of the faults in other people's characters. And of course, when we examine our own characters, there's plenty of faults that can be pointed out, so we are in no place to judge. Instead of thinking about the faults or speaking bad about other people, we should always seek to uplift and encourage and help those around us. Because this Christian life is hard, and there's a lot of times where we may fail and we may fall. But of course, when that happens to us, we want grace, we want forgiveness. You know, the way Jesus dealt with people when they sinned, He didn't condemn them. He instead forgave them, He gave grace, and He told them to sin no more. And Jesus was so gracious with us. So I hope that we can be that exact same way to other people in our day-to-day lives, and ultimately that we should behold Christ and become transformed more and more into His image and have just as much grace and mercy on our fellow man as He did upon us. I hope this was a blessing to you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.